right, so here we've got our no step step up. Now this is really about kind of loading essentially. I'm gonna say it's about loading the knee. So I this is just a good challenge in general, but this is particularly a great way to start to build up the strength of the knee to kind of load itself in a bent position and kind of start to play with these kind of deeper movements that can be a little bit more problematic when we have that pain around the front of the knee and into the kneecap. You're in control. There is no position that you're after with this. So all we need is a step or some sort of elevated surface. This is about 6 inches. I would probably recommend about 6 inches. You can go higher, but you probably don't need to. You're gonna start in this staggered position, and you're almost gonna imagine that you're, well, essentially you are sharing your body weight between the 2 feet. I probably have a little bit more on this leg. All I'm gonna do is kind of freeze frame this body height. So my head isn't gonna lift at all. It's also not gonna go down. I'm just gonna simply shift my weight progressively more from this leg into this leg. And I'm gonna find that maximal amount of load. So that might be a 70-30. That might be a 90-10. But find that place where you start to feel like you've got work, but your knee still feels pretty happy. And you're just gonna pause and breathe there. Holding for anywhere from about 5 to 15 seconds. Press back, unwind. You could alternate legs here, or you could repeat with that same leg. Now, depending on where you're at, if you aren't doing this from a knee perspective, but you are doing this from a single leg strength perspective, we could come into this position, find that kind of maximal load. My nose is over these toes, and I'm going to levitate that foot off the ground. Now my body wants me to stand up. You're gonna try not to let it. So keep that foot off the floor, but keep it as close to the floor as you can because you're not standing up. Okay, again, you're gonna hold, don't forget to breathe, and build up that time under tension. All right, I'll show you from the front because I do have a little bit of a kind of pelvic, a little bit of this hip shift thing happening where I'm sliding and kind of notice my sternum and my belly button are loading over this front leg. All right, so this hip is kind of drawing back, this hip is coming forward. I'm not gonna get into what the hip shift is, but this is that hip shift. Okay, so reach out if you need more clarification. So there it is. Now I can also be a little bit more kind of strategic. This is like a freeze frame of like a running stride. So I can add that opposite arm reach. That's also gonna facilitate in getting my sternum over this leg. Feel that work, press back, either switch sides or continue. Because we do these as isometrics, we usually don't do a lot of repetition. Anywhere from about 3 to 5, and if this is feeling easier than you want it to feel, progress to just sustaining more weight or to moving into lower positions. So you could certainly start off with that back leg farther behind you, so this starts to move into a deeper position in that front leg and building your strength from a lower place. So everything else is the same. All right, so we've got our isometric no step, step up. Let me know if you have questions.